So
Hello.
I had a question in mind after so many of our B2B discussion sessions. That when we are approaching sales strategy or a sales approach or pitch for an IT company, what should be the basic difference? What are the basic differences we should consider when it's a small IT company versus when we're approaching a bigger MNC or a bigger IT firm?
Right. And I think it's a very pertinent question. It's something which we see a lot. And the reason is because there are so many instances where you have to. So first of all, we are not talking about account-based marketing, right? Where we are specifically reaching out to, say, 50 accounts, 60 accounts, because then we have to customize the pitch. It's a very personalized way of going about it, right? We are talking about
Yeah.
scenarios where, say, if you have a CRM company which is relevant for both smaller companies and bigger companies, right? If you have a like a application development service which is relevant for smaller and bigger, so there are many cases where your service is relevant for small and big, and you have to do outreach across the board, right? Whether
Yeah.
example is through mailers, right? Promotional mailers. Now, yeah, coming back to your question, Nida, I think the way a small company approaches any kind of IT, right, service provider is very different from a bigger company, right? So it's in a bigger company, aspects like data security, how the team needs to access the software, and whether it is complying with some of the latest regulation. I mean, as you go to, like, for example, in Fortune 500 companies, how it complies with regulation becomes extremely important, right? And all that has to be understood. So I actually have an example. I'm just going to be sharing my screen, and right?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So this is an example of how the outreach has to be customized for a small company versus a big company, right? And this is I would say, one of the biggest, like, this is where your approach can go wrong, because if you send the same mail, the word bulk mailer is a bit misleading. What companies think is that you can just send the same mail to across the board, whereas it makes sense to customize when you're sending it to a small or big. Now this is an example. Now this is the example of a CRM company targeting to the real estate market, and you can see the way the language, right? So you can see that it's, how it starts. You are not alone, and many people, companies are in the same situation. You can see the words like struggle, right? So struggle is something you will not use so much when it comes to a bigger,
a larger,
larger
corporation.
company, right? Yeah. You can see the way it starts also. Are you tired of staying up to date? That now this is a very B2C kind of language also. Like, are you this? Are you that? So overall, this language is very different for small companies. And now, if you look at the bigger companies, right? So bigger companies, you can see that so I'm just going through the mail, and in the end we are talking about data security.
Data security.
We're talking about data security, and we are saying that in a large sales team, keeping data limited to a select few can be a tricky task, right? Because customer data can leak, and which are, for the bigger the company, the higher the fear of, okay, is my customer data secure? Yeah. So that's really an example of how the outreach has to respect the size of the company. Otherwise it's
irrelevant.
relevant, and even the bulk mailers have to be different depending on the size, right? So this was basically to give you an example of how the approach has to be different for smaller and bigger companies. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Thanks.